Hi there. We are on day 204 of our Through the New Testament 1 year. And Paul is in Rome, and he has been taken, and he's in Herod's palace now, under guard, because his own people are trying to kill him. And they were going to take him before Felix at Caesarea and wait for the Pharisees to show up and see what the charges are about. And the whole chapter of 24 today. It's good. And after 5 days, the high priest Ananias came down with some elders and a spokesperson, one Tertullus. They laid before the governor their case against Paul, and when he had been summoned, Tertullus began to accuse him, saying, "Since through you we enjoy such much peace," butter him up, right? "And since by your foresight most excellent Felix reforms are being made for this nation, in every way and everywhere, we accept this with all gratitude," right? Talk about kissing somebody's feet, right? "But to detain you no further, I beg you in your kindness to hear us briefly, for we have found this man a plague, one who stirs up riots among all the Jews throughout the world, and is a ringleader of the sect of the Nazarenes." Sect of the Nazarenes, you like that? "He even tried to profane the temple, but we seized him. By examining him yourself, you will be able to find out from him about everything which we accuse him." The Jews also joined in the charge, affirming that all these things were so. Right, so. And the governor nodded at him to speak. Paul replied, "Knowing that for many years you have been a judge over this nation, I cheerfully make my defense. You can verify that it is not more than 12 days since I went up to worship in Jerusalem, and they did not find me disputing with anyone or stirring up a crowd, either in the temple or in the synagogues or in the city. Neither can they prove to you what they now bring up against me. But this I confess to you, that according to the way, capital W, right, with all which they call the sect, I worship the God of our fathers, believing everything laid down by the law and written in the prophets, having hope in God, which these men themselves accept, that there will be a resurrection of both the just and the unjust. So I always take pains to have a clear conscience toward both God and man. Now, after several years, I come to bring alms to my nation and to present offerings. While I was doing this, they found me purified in the temple without any crowd or tumult, but some Jews from Asia. They ought to be here before you and to make an accusation should they have anything against me, or else let these men themselves say that what wrongdoing they found when I stood before the council, other than this one thing that I cried out while standing among them. It is with respect to the resurrection of the dead that I am on trial before you this day." Paul kept in custody. He said, prove it, right? Prove it. But Felix, having a rather accurate knowledge of the way, put them off, saying, "When Lysias the tribune comes down, I will decide your case." Then he gave orders to the centurion that he should be kept in custody, but have some liberty, and that none of his friends should be prevented from attending to his needs. Yeah. And after some days Felix came with his wife Drusilla, who was Jewish, and he sent for Paul and heard him speak about faith in Christ Jesus. And as he reasoned about righteousness and self-control in the coming judgment, Felix was alarmed and said, "Go away for the present. When I get an opportunity, I will summon you." Felix and his wife, right? At the time, he hoped that money would be given him by Paul, so he sent for him often and conversed with him. When 2 years had elapsed, Felix was succeeded by Porticus Festus, and desiring to do the Jews a favor, Felix left Paul in prison. Right. 2 years in prison, but he has, all right, he can have friends prevent him. He could have comings and goings. He just can't leave. Okay. He wrote many letters from this prison. Okay. Probably to the Ephesians and the Corinthians and, right. And all the epistles that we read now, right? Letters he wrote. Luke attended him. Luke was a physician. Okay. Timothy was around. So it wasn't terrible, but he was still in prison. He couldn't go. He was hoping to be able to go back and see the churches he started, but he never did. So, right. Okay. Now, tomorrow we will find out in Acts 25, Paul appeals to Caesar. Right. Many think that was a mistake, but it's what happened, okay? By appealing to Caesar, you go to Caesar. right? They would have let him go, okay? But maybe he thought by letting him go, he would have been murdered by the Jews, and he may have, you know? We'll never know. Since he appealed to Caesar, and he was in there for, had an apartment, eventually given an apartment. We'll find that out tomorrow. So there you go. That's day 204. Okay, and we're moving on through Acts. Okay, not a lot left. Then we start the epistles and then into Revelation. Okay, that's a big one. So stay tuned for that. Catch up on any you may have missed. They're nice short videos, and we'll get through the whole New Testament in a year. So tomorrow we'll do it again. See ya.